So if you look on the screen right there where it says live, we gotta wait for a couple people to pop on here. Once they pop on here, then we'll get going. But yeah, right now it's just listening to the crazy madness that's going on in the back here. And of course, there's going to be either Dane or Marisa is going to jump on here, and they're going to complain that we're starting the show 1 hour and 8 minutes late. George! George is from Staten Island, New York.
All right.
Katie lives out in Raymond, Washington. Marisa's going to complain any moment now, telling us we started the show late. Mary is my aunt. Justice, good morning, Justice. I thought I was beating Justice today. He goes, don't you mean next week? Ken, good morning, Ken. Good to see you, man. George. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, see, I told you.
There we go.
Well, hey, good morning, you guys. This is Luke and Rory. You're not Luke.
I'm not Luke.
Nope. The show notes say Luke and Rory, but you're definitely not Luke.
I'm not Luke.
Welcome to Luke and Rory. Today is the 9th of August. And Luke is not here today because Luke, at this moment, is probably boarding his airplane. He's off to Hawaii, so poor Luke.
A sad state of affairs.
So, no, I'm super excited. Luke and his entire family are heading off to Hawaii. Luke's sister's getting married this weekend, so it's a big family affair. Good morning, Rebecca. Good to see you. And so it's really exciting, and I don't feel too bad because I was talking to him this morning because I dropped him off at the airport, and he said that it's a 5-hour flight to Hawaii, and then they've got a 2-hour layover, and then they're taking a little pond hopper over to the little island they're going to. So he's not going to get to their hotel until 8 o'clock our time.
Wow.
And I just went, oh, okay, I don't feel so bad.
Those long flights.
Marion, good to see you. Marion is over in the DC area, so we get all kinds of people that pop up on here.
Excellent.
So, well, as you guys can see, this is definitely not Luke.
I'm not Luke.
This is special guest, Amazon best-selling author, Kathy L. Wheeler.
Hi.
And I've known Kathy for a little bit now. And
About a month?
Yeah, about a month. And we met in the Northwest Networking group. So there you go, Steph. We're plugging the group. Good morning,
Yay.
Deborah. Good to see you. And I was really excited. Kathy came up to me last week, and she's like, "Man, I'd love to promote what you got going on." And you guys have to wait. We're not going to tell you what she's promoting yet.
Oh.
But I said, "Yeah, that'd be great. Let's absolutely do it." So some of the notes I have here are: you've written over 15 books. You're a world traveler, and you have a love of the arts.
I do.
So, without further ado, because George will give us a hard time if we don't get started. Who is Kathy Wheeler? What makes Kathy Wheeler tick?
I love romance.
Okay.
I love sports. I love karaoke.
Karaoke,
And
okay.
musical theater. I'm a huge musical theater buff.
Oh, okay. We're going to have to get into some of those things here in a little bit.
Yeah. So those are the things I love.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start you off with a really hard question. What did you have for breakfast?
You're gonna love this. It's like peach, mango, blueberries, cayenne pepper, a tablespoon of yogurt, flaxseed, milk, and ice blended.
That sounds disgustingly healthy.
It was very good. It is disgustingly healthy. Yes.
Well, that's good. That's good. My wife was kind enough to make me eggs and toast this morning before I took the Weavers up to the airport. Marisa says, "Do you love sports because of the tight pants? Because that's why I love sports."
You know what? I can't believe you're even saying this, but years ago, I was a computer programmer in Hertz, and when I first moved to Oklahoma City, I was in Oklahoma City from Dallas, I asked, do they have any football pools or anything like that? Well, they had a fantasy football league, and they accused me of that. So, this guy...
Good morning, Tom.
Hi, Tom. So this guy, they were making fun of me. They totally believed that. They didn't know me. I was almost 40 when I joined that company. So in October, the newspaper put out a little thing where you could pick these players, and they were just doing it for fun. And there were about 15 of us they did include me in that. I won by 150 points.
Holy smokes!
And they invited me to play fantasy the next year, and I was in it for 6 years.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
All because you chose the players with the tight pants.
There we go. Specifically, Dallas Cowboys.
See, all right, this is where we're gonna have to stop the show because she warned me yesterday that she was a Cowboys fan, and once I heard that, I went, we may have to not do this. And then the icing on the cake, she says, "Oh, I'm also an Oklahoma City Thunder fan."
Okay, well, we didn't have
Yeah,
a pro
explain
team.
yourself.
We did not have a pro team. And I have to say that we took very good care of them. We took them to the finals. We can't help what the refs did, but still. Go Thunder. Russell. Kevin Durant did hurt my feelings. Thank you, Marissa. Thank you.
You do realize that you are in a very sensitive part of the country when it comes to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
It's so sad, all these shirts I have that I can't wear. Because I had season tickets for 7 years. And every time I went to a game, I bought a new shirt. They're really cute, too.
It's very possible that you'll have a Frappuccino poured on you if you wear an Oklahoma City Thunder t-shirt.
I'm thinking about going to that Warriors-Sacramento game that's going to come to Seattle in October.
See, now the thing is that a lot of us Sonics fans up here are Kevin Durant fans because Kevin Durant left.
He was drafted by the Sonics.
Yeah, he's drafted by the Sonics.
Yeah.
He's always said a lot of good things about the Seattle area. And so when he left Oklahoma City Thunder and went to, Meter Maid is on patrol.
Uh-oh.
We gotta keep an eye on her. I actually got my timer set because I don't want to get a ticket. She's on top of it. She does her job very well.
Uh-oh.
She makes the Meter Maid in Zootopia. Makes her look like a whip.
I think the ticket's only $35.
All right, I'll give it to you. I'll give you my ticket then. No, we love it. We loved it when Kevin Durant left because one, it was like, nah, take that Oklahoma City Thunder. And then to go to the Golden State Warriors, it's like, they are going to destroy OKC.
He hurt my feelings. He broke up with us. And I just don't understand.
I just want you to know he was ours first, okay?
That's right. Here's what I think. I think that once a lot of people are leaving Thunder, they're not going to be able to keep that team.
I don't think so either.
So if they come back here, bring Russell back. I'm in love with him now.
Yeah, honestly, from a basketball perspective, I think you're right. I think if Oklahoma City falls below, she's out there marking cars. Don't mark mine. Yeah, I think if OKC finishes below 500 for a couple of years, it's going to get tough.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean...
And we just lost Paul George.
Yep.
Carmelo Anthony, I was not wild about it all, but still.
Yeah.
You know, I have to turn my attention back to the NFL. Go
Well,
Cowboys.
I can tell you right now that Luke is probably jealous that he missed this show today because he's a huge basketball fan. I mean, he really is. He probably could talk hoops with you. Me, I was just the stubby guy on the C team who couldn't take a shot to save his life.
Well, I'm a spectator, but I know my stuff, right?
But now you're talking about your Cowboy. Boy, she's got that chalk going this morning. I love this lifestyle. She's heading towards my car. So let me ask you this: does my time start when she chalks my tire?
I hope so.
Because if that's the case, then
We got an hour.
2 hours.
I hope that's
You said Dallas Cowboys fans.
Yeah.
Or you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. Don't really have that animosity so much towards the Cowboys, just the general national animosity towards the Cowboys where everybody's like, oh, you're America's
Yeah, because
team.
we're America's team.
America's team, whatever. Because for us, the greatest moment in Cowboys history was Tony Romo not being able to hold on to the ball when the kicker was trying to kick the field goal.
Oh my gosh. I started watching in 1977. We had won the Super Bowl against Denver. And the very next, I only started watching that season. And then they ended up, I was pregnant. No, I wasn't. I wasn't. But I was watching and was at home during the day. And they had a news conference come on that Staubach was retiring.
Oh no.
I called my husband at work I'm like, stop my country tire. I'm just crying. He's like, what? But I was also there during the years when the JJs bought the team and everybody hated them, and then you went to the stores like Kroger, and they had taken all the Philadelphia cream cheese.
Hey, good morning, Aaron. Good to see you.
Hi.
Yeah, so you're not going to get as much hate mail up here with the Cowboys. It is what it is. But
I know. I am dying to wear some of my cute Thunder t-shirts today.
Oh boy, I hope you're safe out there. You can see a big riot of Sonics fans chasing after you.
I'm totally gonna selfie all this.
All right, well, enough about sports. I had to give you a hard time about that. So now you said you love karaoke.
Oh man.
You got to talk about this.
Well, I graduated from college when I was 39, but when I lived in Dallas, before I moved to Oklahoma City, I was about 34, and you notice I'm talking about age a lot. My birthday's next week, so I'm kind of freaking out about that, but that's okay. But anyway, I took this class, and it was a voice class, just a little fun ed type thing. They had these little magazine things you could take these different classes. And I took voice and I took acting, and I did not like the acting. I was just really uncomfortable. But the voice I loved. It just hit your endorphins or something.
Yeah.
And I decided at that time I was going to stick with it. So when I went back to school full time, when I was about 36, I ended up minoring in vocal music. Well, what are you going to do with a music degree when you're, almost 40?
Right.
So I'm one of the better singers at the bar karaoke. Yeah.
So what's your favorite song to sing at karaoke?
Well, I'm a big show tune fan because I love musical theater.
Okay.
So I have all those at home. And those really make you work hard. But my favorite person, and it changes through the years, but Jewel is one of my favorites to imitate, and I do her very well.
Okay.
Yeah. Down so long. Yeah.
So you also said you like musical theater.
Mm.
So what's your favorite show? What's your favorite? I'm guessing Broadway show. The Phantom of the Opera.
I've seen it 11 times.
Okay.
I'm seeing it next Thursday for my birthday.
Where's it playing?
It's in Seattle at the Paramount.
Okay.
And that'll be my 12th time. I've seen it in London, Denver, have not seen it in Dallas, Houston, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, New York several times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So why do you go see it so many times? What is the excitement behind that?
Okay, they've changed the staging, which just drives me insane, because if anybody's ever seen it, at the beginning of the second act, you have the song Masquerade,
Yep.
and the company is dancing and off that staircase. Well, every time I see it, I'm trying to figure out where the Phantom comes in. So I won a fantasy trip show to see the show in New York and a backstage tour.
Okay.
So I'm asking the guy, so is any of this recorded, blah, blah, blah? And he's like, well, a teeny bit of it is, because they can't get the main characters out. When she's going up the thing, the ramp, when he's taking her back across the
Yep.
at the
Spoiler.
yeah.
Steph, good morning, Steph. She's watching.
Hi, Steph. But, so I just couldn't figure out how he was getting there. So every time I'm watching it, I'm just trying to see. So when I had the backstage tour, I asked him. There was a lift that came up. Now, the last time I saw it, when it came through Oklahoma City, we had season tickets. And because it was coming, we had our tickets, and I bought a second ticket for the next week in front row. So I could watch, but they changed the staging, and I didn't know that. And now it's like mirrors instead of the staircase.
Oh,
It drives
okay.
me crazy. But every time I see it, I see something new. That's why live stuff is so fun. But there is a downside, because you know it so well, and if they don't do it right, I'm very critical. But as it is, I have a huge birthday next week, and my husband did not buy the juice.
Oh, nice. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job, husband. Good job. What's your husband's name?
Al.
Al, good job, Al. That's husband level 100 right there.
It is. Because well, here's what happened. I said, my birthday's in a couple of weeks. It's a big one. Phantom's going to be in town. You need to plan something. So we were going to the Ram, and he's like, well, I was going to buy tickets for Phantom. I said, okay, I'll take my computer. So we got the $400 seats.
Oh, my word.
Not her seat. It was bad.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
That's Hamilton. That's Hamilton. Which I've seen twice.
You've seen it twice? Oh, my daughter would be so jealous.
Oh, she should be.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep. I was at a conference, a little workshop they did for the Emerald City, or I'm sorry, the Greater Seattle Romance Chapter.
Okay.
And this girl comes up to me. I had interviewed her, and she had loved musical theater. And she leans down on the desk like this, on the floor on her knees, and she looks up at me and she says, I have 2 tickets to Hamilton I can't use. I'm going to be in Hawaii. Do you want them? I said, how much? She said, 100. I said, sold.
Okay.
So we were 7 rows back. But
Good morning, Lacey.
Hi, Lacey. Anyway,
that's very cool. Well, my kids have kind of grown up with theater. My daughter's actually in Bellingham right now at Western, and she's getting her degree in I think English in playwriting. She doesn't change it. I just can't remember it every single time she tells me. Like, I'm like, honey, what are you getting again? She's like, Dad, I'm doing this. I'm like, oh, that's right. I got it saved right here. And then a week later, I can't remember what it is she's doing.
Is she doing performance theater at all, or?
She did when she was younger. She did it in high school. And then my younger kids, they're part of Astra, which is a local church group here, and they just finished Beauty and the Beast.
I saw that because I love Beauty and the Beast too.
So did you see the one that they were at?
I did not.
Oh.
But I've seen it a lot. That's the music I love,
Well, it was really cool, and I'll share this with you guys. One of my daughters played Chip for half of the shows.
Yes.
And then my other daughter was just a villager, and I don't mean just, but a villager, and she was also part of the transformation scene. So that was really cool. But we just found out that a representative from Disney actually went to one of the shows.
Oh my God.
And wrote to the director and said, this is one of the best community shows I've seen out there, even better than some of the really more expensive shows. And everybody in the close Facebook group, they're just like, oh.
He's not a great hero. I mean, he's suicidal. He's like
major depression.
Yes, he's a basket case. But the music makes you cry.
Yes.
And people who love theater are either Big Phantom is their favorite or Les Mis.
Yep.
And the reason it's one or the other. If you're a music person, it's Phantom, because that show is about the music. But if you're just love theater, then Les Mis. It's the most depressing show ever, but the music is beautiful. And my dad loved Les Mis, was his favorite, and I'm like, how? But my husband and I were music people. We, so Phantom. Number 12.
Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes of the conversation, you're also a world traveler. You've traveled to a lot of places. Now, you had mentioned a couple, New York, Dallas, OKC, Houston. Where else have you been?
Well, in 2004, my daughter and I did a 3.5-week Europe thing. We flew in and out of London. And because when I was with Hertz, our business analysts were in Dublin. So I had a lot of friends from over there who would say, you need to do this, you need to do that. So we did. And we didn't plan anything. But in particular, when we flew into London, we took the tube to Victoria Station. And from there, we took the Channel to Paris and an overnight train to Madrid, all in one fell swoop, so we could just sleep the whole time.
Oh, wow.
And we started our trip back. However, when we got to Madrid at 10 o'clock that morning, we were 1 or 2 days in, we didn't have a hotel.
Uh-oh.
So we're at the station trying to, figure out where we're going to stay, and this girl who was backpacking, she was probably a year younger than my daughter, a couple of years younger than my daughter. She was 24 at the time, and she said, told us about hostels, so we checked into that. So we got a hostel, and this girl, she even stayed the night with us too. It was like a 2-bedroom and very cheap. So if you're ever thinking of doing that, it's the way to go. One of the things that happened that very first part is we got this place, we hit the town, not with that girl, she did her deal. But then that night we went to dinner, and the waiter at this place invited us, said, there's a party up here, you know, they invited us to have dinner with them. And I think it was a group of firemen or something, I don't know. But then, like it went up to this platform, and then it went up more stairs, and there was another party up there, and it was a bachelorette party. And they invited us, the waiter is freaking out. We're like, no, it's okay. They said it was okay. We can come up there. So we.
Oh, I just want you to know something real quick. The Sonics Army is on its way. Go Sonics! Woohoo!
Oh my God.
OKC Thunder fan right here. Ah, see? I told you they were coming.
He inside. So my daughter and the other girl, Kristen, they ended up like going out bar hopping with the bachelorette party. So then they come back about 6 in the morning, and there's no TV. There's 3 stations. They're all in Spanish. My daughter spoke Spanish. That was her degree in college. So they come back. I let her sleep, and I'm like, get up. I'm not staying here all day. Because you were out all night. So we get up, we go down the street, and then I was watching the TV but couldn't tell. There were all these crowds and stuff. You see the BBC and CNN and all these news trucks somewhere. And then I'm like at a coffee shop like this, and inside, and I'm seeing all these barristers,
Barriers?
Barriers. They
Okay.
were sorry. And I'm like, oh my God, it's a wedding. And I'm like, I ran outside, and I said, what's going on? And they're like, it's the first royal wedding in over 100 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Look what's coming. Another Sonics hat. Oh my gosh, I have never seen this many Sonics hats.
I almost wore my Thunder bracelet.
Go Sonics.
Hey.
OKC Thunder fan right here.
Oh, God.
See, I'm telling you, they know you're here.
It's okay. It's gonna be okay. It will be a curse, but it's gonna be okay.
Really? The colors of those hats are
I
horrid.
cannot believe that.
They are so horrid.
I sent out the vibe. I told all the Sonics fans, get here. So sorry. Sorry to interrupt the story.
No,
Royal wedding.
so there was a royal wedding. So about 2 days later, we're going to leave, but we go to this monastery, and they had all these tapestries, and my daughter is asking this little bitty lady, she's like 4'10", and she said, listen to these tapestries, blah, 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 and she says, oh, yes, but you know there's a wedding in town, and all the tapestries are at the castle. It was very funny. Okay.
That is awesome.
No, there was one little thing.
Good morning,
it's like
Janet.
when they are driving through, and I'm like, here they're coming, and I've got my camera, and it wasn't digital, and I'm like, make it right here, and it goes, and I can see her makeup.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, oh my God, my camera ran out of film.
Oh, is that like the 35 millimeter camera? Oh.
It took me years to get over it. I don't think I'm over it still. It was awful. So then we left Madrid and went to Barcelona, and then we went to Paris, Avignon, then Paris, then Germany. She's like, I want Birkenstocks. Let's go to Germany. So we hopped the train, went to Germany for 3 nights, and then we went to, and I saw a really interesting little musical. It was all in German, and I was laughing, and my daughter was giving me a hard time. She said, you don't even know what they're saying. I said, okay, Brooke, look at the symbolism when he has the little plant, and then the plant is big. Look at the hat, the little hat, and then the big hat. You know, it was like 6 characters, and it's kind of like I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change, along those lines, but it was set in a hardware store, so there were 3 women and three men. So the symbolism was all over, and they were singing popular songs, but they probably changed the words, so you recognize a Celine Dion. It's all coming back to me now, or something like that. Oh my God, it was crazy. So then Germany, Amsterdam, and rather than taking the train back down to Paris to go over to London because we had to be back by a certain day, one of my friends in Dublin says, you know, catch a flight from Ryanair. It's cheap, and it was. And my friend's husband picked us up. He's running all around the teeny tiny airport, and he's running all around looking for us. And I'm on the phone with my friend saying, okay, tell him that she's wearing orange Holland jacket. And then I had seen him going around, and right then we found her. So.
That's awesome. That sounds like a
fun.
fantastic
It
adventure.
was. And I took a 19-day road trip.
Is this a travel channel I just joined?
Oh, no.
It is. Good morning, Paul. To answer your question, Steph, I think all the viewers are on vacation with all the people from Northwest Network Group, so I think that's where all the viewers are at today. It's actually because Luke's not here. I mean, we can both admit that it's all about Luke and his hair, so. Good morning, Kimberly. Good to see you. See, I give Luke a hard time because I think he's now in the air, so he can't see
he
this.
can't hear it.
Yeah, he'll watch it later tonight, though.
Oh, good.
Oh, he will. He's one of those guys that I give him a hard time. He's like, dude, we're funny. I'm like, were you watching it again? He's like, yeah, why not? I'm like, I don't even. We'll be done with the show today. And I'll be like, I forgot what I said.
I know. Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. Yeah. I did take a 19-day road trip from Oklahoma City to California, up through Colorado, and by myself. And my husband, like, I get to Pueblo coming back, and my husband's like, "Are you coming home anytime soon?" I said, "I think I'll be there tomorrow."
I just needed a break.
19 days. It was awesome.
Well, let's get into your writing. Let's get into what your passion is. How did you get started writing? Because if you just joined us, like Paul, she's written 15 novels. 15. I can barely write an essay. So how did you get started? How did you just like, I'm going to start doing this?
It's crazy because that's what happened. And I worked at Hertz, as I said, and I had gotten a new computer, and I wanted to type.
Yep.
And so I started doing a Google prompt thing, writing prompts. I just Googled it, and one of them came up that said, "What if Cinderella Slipper put one of the evil stepsisters?" And I'm like, I love Cinderella. I can write that. I can sing all that music too, by the way. But yeah, so I wrote that story. It was only 13,000 words at the time. One of the Harlequin editors read it, but it's nothing they could use because, first of all, everything they have would be 45 to 65,000 words.
Oh my gosh.
Or
Okay.
65 up, I guess. But then I met somebody a couple of years later and told her about it. And she said, "Get it to 50,000 words and get it to me." So that's what happened. Is I ended up expanding. The Queen and the Fairy Godmother are twin sisters in my story. The sisters kind of become friends. The prince ends up engaged to the wrong girl, and he's like, I don't know what to do. It's set in the 1790s. It's really based on the Rodgers and Hammerstein 65 version with Ginger Rogers and Leslie Ann Warren. She debuted in that, and it was just my favorite one. And then I wrote this sister story, and then the reviews were like, now we need to know what happens to the evil stepmother. And sadly, that is not a happy ending, but the reviews on it made me cry, made my husband cry.
That's cool.
Because, yeah, it's very sad, and it really gave some depth to the overall series. That's how I got started.
So you got started doing that, and then it just like became an obsession, just kind of like you needed to fill that.
It is an obsession.
Yeah.
I was at Borders Books, if you remember those days, and I'm in line checking out, and there's this book, and it's called Quotationary, and I picked it up, and this quote comes across. I can't remember the quote, but it's in the first line of my book called Cool, and I'm like, I had this brainiac girl who just wants to be left alone. Don't. People, not a people person. And when people start getting too close to her, she uses obscure quotes to keep them at bay.
Interesting.
And there's suspense. Yeah.
Cool. Now, which one of your 15, yes, I'm going to ask this question, which one of your 15 is your most favorite, your most passionate one, the one that you, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the story, but what's your one book that you're just like, this one means so much to me?
Okay, you know what? It's kind of funny. Quotable is in a 3-book series.
Okay.
And the second book is the quotable quote. I call her Quote Girl. Her friend, who's very pretty, tall, completely opposite of our Brainiac girl, but she has abandonment issues, and she just gives too much too soon. Is always looking for her Prince Charming, but it is a contemporary. But basically, I think that is one of my favorites. And then there's a third one along those lines too, because there's a 5-year-old kid who cusses and thinks people don't hear her, and the hero's standing there going, I'm standing right here, and she's going, are you going to tell on me? And that one is too, because the mom and the daughter in that are my daughter and I when she was that age. Okay, she may have cussed and I may not have heard it. But that's, yeah, those two stand out the most.
Nice. If, so you got 15 books under your belt. If you could go back in time and have a conversation with yourself 15, 20 years ago, what advice would you give yourself?
Start sooner.
Start sooner? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't start writing until I was 42. 44. Yeah.
I find that a lot of people who find their passion in life, that's normally what they would tell their younger selves is, you need to get this started now. Because time's going to fly, and before you know it, you're either going to have regrets, or you're going to be like, man, I should have started this sooner.
And the singing too. I wish I was a Broadway star. I wished I'd done that. Mm-hmm. But
Oh, I guess he's not flying. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Luke.
Hi, Luke.
We were talking about you, buddy.
Well, I wasn't.
I was. I absolutely was. We got Luke, if you're still on here, Oklahoma City Thunder fan.
Hi.
Oh, dude, you should have some conversations with her. She knows her stuff. I think you two...
Hey, I taught my husband how to watch NFL.
Oh. I've tried to teach my wife how to watch the NFL, and I give her 1,000 points of credit for trying, but she just doesn't care.
No, he actually did start getting it. But the hardest thing I think he had trouble with was the touchback. A touchback versus kickoff when it came out on the 20.
Gotcha.
He just couldn't grasp what that meant.
Wait a second, you're doing this, but now it's different. You're doing yeah. So you would tell your younger self, get started sooner. Now, what advice would you give people today, youngsters today, who have a passion for writing, but they don't know how to start?
Well, many big-time romance authors, and it's huge, I'm telling you, that whether you like 50 Shades of Grey or not, which that woman single-handedly with that series saved Barnes & Noble from shutting down.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
So
Luke is on the edge of his plane seat.
So I think, so what people like Nora Roberts, if you're a romance reader, you know who she is. She said, sit your ass in the chair. You have to do the work. And it's the one thing that you can't put off on anybody else and learn. You have to do the work to learn it.
Right.
And genre fiction writing is completely different from nonfiction or even mystery writing. But I have a hard time reading mysteries now because they don't write it from the character's eyes. It's more told to you rather than experiencing it.
And that makes a lot of sense because you always hear people say, oh, the book's better than the movie. And I found for me, my kids a few years ago, they challenged me to read the Harry Potter books. I had seen all the movies, and I was entertained by all the movies, but I went, okay. So I started reading the Harry Potter books, and I read the first 3. And I was engrossed in the books. I loved it. And then when I went to go rewatch the movies, I went, these movies suck.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, I think, has to do with, and correct me if I'm wrong, is in reading the book, you can hear their thoughts.
You bet.
But in the movies, you can't. You can't see what is going through Harry Potter's head at that time.
Because they're telling you, and in some cases, they're showing you. And I've been watching that Sharp Objects, and the person who wrote that wrote The Girl on the Train.
Okay.
And I didn't read those books, but in the way they filmed that, you are almost experiencing what she's experiencing rather. And I think that's very difficult to do.
Oh, yeah.
And I am a picky reader. I don't like an author to just pound in, you know. I get it. It's a romance. But you need to be able to not treat the reader stupid.
Right.
You know, and so sometimes, and I reread a lot of my favorite authors' books because every time I see, oh, this is how she did that, because they're drawing you in, and then you love rereading it because you're learning something new about the character, and you're like, oh my God, that movie Get Out. Did you see that?
I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, that movie is crazy. But
you know, that's a great point you bring up, because when you first start a book, you don't know what to expect. So your mind is kind of paying attention, but it's kind of wandering, and all of a sudden something grabs you, and then you can't put the book down. And by the time you get to the end, you're like, I should go read this again because I probably missed so much at the beginning.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And yes.
What's your favorite movie, Kathy?
Favorite movie? You know
What
what?
is
I love things like Legally Blonde, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Romancing the Stone. I love rom-coms. I want the happy ending. I hate when something. There was a movie with Richard Gere years ago, and it was the tobacco fields or something. And I thought, this is a pretty good movie. And then at the end, they hang him, and I'm like, oh my God.
Spoiler.
And I was not. It's an old movie. I think it's called Somerset. So if I'm expecting that ending like that, that's fine. Okay, my absolute favorite movie of all time, The Philadelphia Story with Katharine Hepburn, Cary Grant, and Jimmy Stewart.
Okay.
I love old movies, 40s in particular.
I would say for me, I still think The Dark Knight is one of the best movies ever made, let alone best superhero movies ever made. It's just the storytelling in that. It's, for me, that director, Christopher Nolan, he took the superhero genre from a goofy, cartoony thing to, oh my gosh. I remember when they said that Heath Ledger was going to be the Joker, I thought, the kid from 10 Things I Hate About You? No, he's not going to do it. And when I watched the movie, I'm like, oh my gosh, I am scared of him. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, he's crazy and psycho enough that it could happen. There could really be someone that's crazy enough to do something like that. So I love that movie just for taking the whole comic book movie genre and putting it into real life instead of all these crazy things. And then I have to also say, It's a Wonderful Life. And I know that sounds like the go-to, that's my favorite movie. But for the longest time, I never watched that movie. And I think I watched that movie for the first time when I was in my mid-30s. And let me tell you, when you're going through some personal stuff and you've had some ups and downs, and then you watch that movie, oh my God, I'm such a fortunate man. And I was just bawling.
He took the acting class.
Oh my gosh,
No,
I haven't, but you know, my daughters have challenged me. They said, Dad, you need to try out
You know
next
what?
year.
It's fun. I did do some local theater in Oklahoma City, but when I started writing, I can't separate my
Larry Charles.
I can't separate it in my head when you're trying to learn lines and then you have to write them. So I cut that out. I still sing, but I can't do the acting. I can't learn lines and write. Yeah,
Gotcha.
And I'm fine with that.
Well, let's promote what you got going on, because you got a really cool thing happening here.
I do.
So yeah, check this out, you guys.
Okay, so August 23rd, in Tacoma at Dazed and Reused Art Studio. I will be giving an writing class. I paint too, did I say that?
I'm going to tell you about writing as I draw this picture.
That's right. No, I'm doing a Kickstart Your Creative Writing Aspirations, and it's a 2-hour class. It runs $35. You can sign up through my website, kathylwheeler.com, or /store, or you can go to Dazed and Reused Workshops and for more details.
Well, where's I love that name, by the way, Dazed and Reused. That's awesome. Where are they located at in Tacoma?
They are 6th near Sprague.
6th and Sprague?
6th Street, if you turn off Sprague on the 6th, and right when that little strip of restaurants and it's a quaint neighborhood.
Okay.
I think the college kids do, but it's like right there.
Okay, yeah, I think I know where that's at.
I can't remember the address.
Good morning, Rick. Rick is coming to us from Florida. So I told you, we are all over the place.
Yeah. Well, that's nice because all my books are available, all over the place.
Yep, through Amazon.
Through Amazon,
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
usually Barnes and Noble on their ebooks and iBooks.
Very cool. Well, one thing we want to do for you guys, and we know that there's not a lot of people watching live today, but there's going to be people like Luke who will watch rerun here. We actually have something special for you. Kathy brought one of her books, and we're going to give it away to someone. And we've decided that whoever submits the best writing question. So if you have a question about writing, doesn't matter. Just writing is the topic. Submit your writing question, and the best question, she'll answer all of them, but the best question will get a copy of this book signed by the author right there.
And it'll be in the mail Friday. So
that's awesome.
Comment away.
Yeah, so leave your comments of your writing questions, and I might just put a writing question in there. I don't know. It's fine with me. I don't have the stipulation. I can be the host, and I can win. Unlike Steph. Steph will give her winnings to other people. I'm like, no, I entered. Rick can't read backwards. Rory didn't set you up for success.
Oh dear.
No, Rick, here's the problem. Android won't flip.
It was
Apple
backwards?
will. Well, see, go ahead and put it up there and they'll see. Yeah, see, it's backwards.
Aww.
Unfortunately.
This is a little gothic mystery I wrote. And here, read the back. Can you read it?
She can live with the truth. Her memories unlock.
Can she live?
Oh, I can't read. Can she live with the truth? Her memories unlock. She remembers nothing from her past but the sting of her aunt's hand on her face, jarring her to the knife she held in one hand and blood-stained letter in the other, and the stare of her father's blank gaze. Now she must face the truth. Did she murder her own father? Ooh.
She was 8. There you go.
Dang. Okay, so there you go. Submit your writing questions, and best one, Kathy will send that book to you. Rory, sounds like a Rory problem. Make the switch. Apple is waiting. No, dude. Okay, we're gonna have to ban Rick. Megan, good morning, Megan.
Hi, Megan.
Steph says, I want to write. When I put pen to paper, I'm blank, and you both know I'm never lost for words. So how to convey? Come to her class.
You can come to my class.
Come to her class. We'll go ahead and put links in the comments here.
Oh, good idea.
So that way people will know where to go to sign up.
Okay, great.
And then, you can find all your books on Amazon. Is that right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Amazon, iBooks, Barnes and Noble.
Cool. Oh, look at that. We got our question here. Actually, that's our second question because Steph is our first question.
Okay, what does it say?
Writing a book for the past few years, I've always seen writing as a daunting task. How does one strategize writing a book? I already have the topic and some ideas.
So you just sit your ass in the chair and you start writing. But outside of that, join a local. I don't know if what genre you're writing, what subgenre, if it's romance or if it's, and everything has romance in it. There is all kinds of stuff out there. So the RWA, Romance Writers of America, have the best classes. Even if you don't write romance, it will teach you how to write through the character's eyes. And there's rules too. If you're looking to get published, that's another thing you have to decide. What do you want to do with your writing? Is it something you're wanting to do as a career? Are you just doing it for fun? You know, how deep or far do you want to take it?
I come from a marketing, copywriting background. That's a good background to come from.
It is, but it's hard because, you know, this book is like 40,000 words. It's small, it's a novella, and I have some that are 85,000 words. That's a little bit more than, you know, 140 characters for, you know,
Right,
for copy.
right. Yeah, well, we'll put a link on here, Charles, and if you got more questions, you can reach out to Kathy.
Certainly.
So,
Happy to answer any.
well, cool. Well, we're going to throw in a couple announcements here, and then we're going to finish up the show. Peanut Butter Food Drive. We've only collected 5 pounds of peanut butter so far. Now, with that said, I've actually had people in the last 24 hours reach out to me. We've got 64 pounds coming from California.
Yay.
I believe we've got another 12 pounds coming from Florida. And we've set up a basket at Envoy Mortgage in Sumner. So if you're in the Sumner area, stop by there. They've got a basket. They're taking a collection. I know Megan dropped off, I think Megan dropped off 4 pounds. I don't know if Megan's still on here, but she dropped off 4 pounds of peanut butter there. So actually, okay, it's like 9 pounds now. But the other thing is, and I want to give a special shout out to Brian Reynolds and his family and the entire team here at Anthem. They've allowed us to put up a basket over here that was donated by the Puyallup Food Bank and said, absolutely. So you can come down to Anthem from now until August 31st, drop off your peanut butter donation. As much as I'm down here, I'll have a chance to pick it up. So drop it off if you want. Let myself or let Luke know that you dropped off peanut butter here, so we'll make a plan to come down, pick it up. And we want to make sure if you've got a business out there and you want your business to be promoted, give us some peanut butter, and we'll absolutely put it out there that your business donated peanut butter. So we've got, what did I say, 22 more days. So we got to pick up the slack. We're at 9 pounds of peanut butter.
I'm in.
Yeah. So more peanut butter, more peanut butter. Okay. We got that. Congratulations to David for closing on his house in Graham. Michael Taylor, that's a family from California that's going to donate 64 pounds of peanut butter. Yeah, awesome people. Nathan, congratulations on closing on your home in Parkland. And I'm going to give a special shout out to my daughter, Jessie, who turned 21 2 days ago. And I can't believe that she is 21 years old. And she's coming down this weekend, so we're going to have a nice little party for her. But happy birthday.
Turns 40.
No. I've often wondered that with my dad. Like, I wonder what my dad thought when I turned 40.
Yeah.
I wonder what my grandma thought when I turned 40. So
I mentioned my birthday's next Thursday. I'm turning 60.
I had no idea. I would not have guessed 60. I would not have guessed that.
Yeah.
And if anybody else had said 60, she'd probably come punch you in the face.
That's true. I would.
Awesome.
I don't mind flying to Florida. It is a
She's coming
long
after you,
flight.
Rick. Look out, buddy. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kathy, for joining me. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad you got a chance to do this because now it's not that big of a deal.
No.
You just hit the live button and you just go.
I'm doing this. Thanks so much.
Yes, thank you so much. Oh, look, my timer's up. Dismiss my timer right there. All right, cool. Well, thanks, you guys. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for joining Kathy and myself. We're actually going to have a special show again next week because Luke's not going to be here. He's going to come to us live from Hawaii. Yeah, so we're going to have the split screen next week where I'll be on one side and he'll be on the other side drinking a whatever.
Mai Tai.
Mai Tai with a lei around his neck on a beach. Whatever. So join us next week. We're scheduled to have Luke join us live from Hawaii, and that should be a lot of fun. So.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, thanks, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend. I heard rain's coming.
Yay!
Rain's coming. And if you're a Seahawks fan, not a Cowboys fan, a Seahawks fan, first preseason game is tonight.
Oh, you know, I like the Seahawks. I don't love.
I like the Seahawks when they're not playing the Cowboys.
That's true.
All right, thanks, you guys. Take care. Have a great weekend.